Can y'all believe we're only 6 episodes in to Chrisean and Blueface, Crazy in Love, and this is the end? This was the season finale. Episode 6 was the season finale. It was a short season, but baby, do we have some things to talk about? Okay, welcome back to Damien After Dark. If you're new here or you have not subscribed yet, click that subscribe button right below this video. Also, thank you guys so much for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to my 1,000th subscribers, Stefan. I hope I didn't pronounce your name wrong, Steven, Stefan. He'd commented and said he was my 1,000th subscriber. Thank you to each and every one of you who have subscribed. If I could thank you individually, I would. I love you guys so much. And you make this fun for me. You make this so much fun. So I'm so appreciative. Also, make sure you like this video by hitting the thumbs up button when you like this video. It helps share the video throughout the YouTube community. And last but not least, join the conversation. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this video. So make sure you chime in the comments section and let me know what you think about episode 6. I'm going to give this episode a 6. A solid 6. It wasn't a bad episode. We definitely got to see a lot into why Chrisean is the way she is. She opens up a little bit. She talks about her past, her childhood, and things of that sort. And we learned some very interesting, dark things that happened to her. We're going to get into that, you know, and there's just so much that we've got to unpack in 30 minutes. I'm trying to keep this video to 30 minutes and such little time. I've got 4 pages of notes. I doubt we're going to get through all of that. But my thing is that they just run out of stuff to talk about or to film because it was 6 episodes and that's just really short for a season. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes the first season of different series can be short. So maybe they were just, you know, seeing if we would bite, seeing if it was a hit, and maybe we'll get a season 2. Who knows? Now, when they opened the show, one thing I noticed is that they played Chrisean's song, It's a Vibe. And she's really talented when it comes to music. The song is actually a really good song. I can, you know, if I can dance to it, if I can sway my little hips, you know, I like it. And it's unfortunate the things that she does in her personal life and that we see on the blogs overshadows her true talents and what she can really do. Because I truly feel like she could be an even bigger star than she is right now, but she's letting her antics with her and Blueface overshadow that. Now, Blueface and Chrisean, they set up a date night to discuss their future, according to the show. That's what they're telling us this first scene is going to be about, which they end up going to dinner. And the first thing I noticed when they first just get to dinner and sit down at a table, we see just how emotionally immature Chrisean can be at times, right? Blue sits across from her at a table and she was in this baby voice, this real immature voice. Baby, you're not going to come sit with me. You're not going to sit beside me. Come here and sit beside me. We don't love each other, huh? Like, girl, come on. It's exhausting. Are y'all not grown adults? Can you not come in and sit across from her? Like, if you want to sit by each other, yeah, cool. Come here, baby, sit right here. But it's just like it's overkill with her in this relationship with him. It's so, if it's exhausting for us as viewers, goddamn, I can only imagine what they feeling, right? Now, I don't know, y'all. I get annoyed with her. Already, I have in my notes they're already drinking, but I mean, they both are, but Chrisean noticeably is drinking. I'm like, oh God, we already know where this is going to go because we know how this is going to play out. When she starts drinking, I really feel like that's her problem, which we're also going to talk about that, is that she's got a drinking problem. Anytime I see her now, she's got something that she's drinking. Now Blue asks her while they're sitting here and she's gulping down wine and shit, if things are better with his sister and mother now that they've sat down and they've talked things out. And he said, you know, I noticed that you followed them on social media. So are things good? And she downplays it. She's like, you know, I follow people all the time that I really don't care about. And, you know, I guess he was just trying to get a good moment out of her. Like, finally, things are good with my family, right? But she's downplaying it. And she was like, no, I was just drunk. I was in the studio. I was following people that Why do you follow people you don't like? Just be real, be open, be vulnerable. Like, for the sake of your relationship, Chrisean, let the wall down for a minute, sweetheart. Let the wall down and stop this tough guy mentality that, like, y'all know what I'm trying to say? Does it make sense? And I'm gonna get hell for this, what I'm about to say next, but I'm gonna say it. But this is also what I'm talking about when it comes to Chrisean and just her overall appearance. And, like, sometimes actually most of the time, she just looks unkept. She looks a hot fucking mess. She's in this classy-ass restaurant, eating bread with a mouthful of bread, talking like this, front tooth missing. You're looking like a fucking hillbilly sitting up in here in this classy, nice restaurant that y'all sitting in. You're trying to have a nice dinner with your man. Not to mention, cameras are here and we're filming a show. And, you know, she's just a Hollywood hot mess. But guess what? That's Chrisean. That's her. And that, I think, is what makes people so drawn to her. The same way people were drawn to Cardi B and how real and raw she was, and she didn't really filter herself for cameras. You just got what you saw. I think that's why people fall in love with Chrisean. I'm not faulting her or downing her for being unkept, for eating with your mouth full with a missing front tooth. That is her. But at the same time, you gotta remember, baby girl, look where you are in your career right now. People are watching. She doesn't have any self-awareness. That's the problem. You very much lack self-awareness, and then the drinking. Like, you are at a place in your career right now that it's just like, it's a shame to see. Now, like I said, Chrisean says she only followed his family because she was drunk as fuck at the studio and following everybody, like his baby mama and whatnot. She says fuck them when it comes to all them. And I'm like, well, you know, that's not going to be good. Once the family watches this episode and they think everything is cool and y'all moved on, you saying fuck them. Now, she's downing wine. She's chasing it with other alcohol. And then she's literally got liquor and wine just running down her cheek. And Blueface even has to tell her, like, slow down. Like, can you slow down, babe? Slow down. And she's like, are you going to fuck me? Are we going to fuck tonight? Well, like, alcohol running down her mouth. Like, girl, this is not cute at all. It ain't cute. It ain't cute. It's giving sloppy a hot mess. Are you going to fuck me tonight? No, and he don't want to fuck you. He don't want to fuck you because we'll get into that. Okay. Back to her with this alcohol. She's got an alcohol problem because if y'all haven't seen, I did a recap on the No Jumper interview. Chrisean and Blueface did an interview with the podcast called No Jumper. It's on YouTube if you want to go check it out. Their interview with them as well as my recap. Go check it out. And in the recap, I talked about this. In that interview, she's drinking and she gets so belligerently drunk that she acts a fool. They have to they have to carry her out, kicking and screaming like a fucking toddler for her to get out of the restaurant because she's just a drunk mess. And it's like, this girl has an alcohol problem. This girl has an alcohol problem. Now, she starts talking about how when me and you are beefing, when we're angry at each other, that gets me horny. And she said she wants to fuck. She doesn't understand why he doesn't want to have sex. And he's just like, look, I'm not horny. If I want to have sex, I've got to be horny. And I'm like, have you ever thought about maybe he's not horny because he's not turned on by your sloppy, drunk antics, you with food in your mouth open, breath probably stank, missing tooth, hot mess, weave all over your head because you ain't brushed it. Have you ever thought about maybe that's why he's not horny? I mean, it's just a thought. It's just a thought. Blue even says to her, she does things that makes him not feel her at certain times. Let me translate that for you, baby girl. You're a sloppy hot mess and he's not turned on and his dick don't get hard by it. Be a classy young woman. You are famous. You're rich. You've got everything at your damn fingertips that you want. Be a classy young woman. It's time to get help, Chrisean. Like, how many seasons do we have to sit back and watch you drinking, cussing, fighting, slurring, falling? Can we see the evolution of you? And I know you're young, but goddamn. Blue brings up the idea that he needs to be fixed. and that they should go to therapy. Chrisean says people like you don't need therapy. You know what you want. As a girlfriend, you should be encouraging it, Chrisean. She's saying they don't need it, but she's like, we don't need therapy, but if you want different things, tell me. So I guess he encourages her to go, but she's really not feeling it. So many people have this anti-therapy thing, and it's just like, if you would let your ego aside for a moment and just try and be vulnerable, you would be surprised at what could happen and the healing that you can gain from it. Now, she's drunk, she's crying. She needs rehab. She really does. She needs to be away from Blueface, or I fear a very scary future for these two. Like, it's very much giving Whitney Bobby vibes. And I'm not saying that to be shady, be funny, nothing. Like, seriously. Like, it's mirroring that, because something's got to give. Even their little song that they play on the show says it. There's a pain in the ghetto. Something's got to give. Y'all know what I'm talking about? The song even's trying to tell them something's got to give, baby. At one point, she's eating food. And I guess when she's eating it, like, it splashes on him. And he says something about it. And he's even just looking at her, like, in disgust. Like, annoyed by it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing, Chrisean? Like, get it together. Now, look. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. Blueface is no saint. He isn't been in trouble with the law left and right. You know, you don't put your hands on a woman. I mean, if she hits you first, I think he has a right to hit her back. That's just my opinion. Even though you shouldn't, being a man and you're bigger, you shouldn't hit a woman, period. But he's at this dinner, and what I can see from him is that he seems sober. When they did that no jumper interview, what I could see from him is that he was sober. I'm always team women. 99% of the time, I'm team women. But I'm also team right from wrong. And anytime I see Blueface and Chrisean together in a scene or whatever, she's drunk. She's the aggressor. She's saying shit to get under his skin. She's doing the most. No, he's not perfect. I'm sure he's gaslit her in the past. I'm sure he's done things that he shouldn't do, that he should do wrong. But when I look at their relationship, she seems like the problem a lot of the time. I'm going to say it. And I'm not going to apologize for it, because I can't get on board and behind it. Everything I see between these two, she is doing the most. Honestly. And Zeus, you need to step the fuck in. Step in and do something, because y'all are capitalizing off of this. You're condoning this. If this girl dies, how are y'all going to feel? If this girl, we find out that something happens to her and she's dead, or God forbid, how are y'all going to feel for her? You're not going to care, because you're cashing in those fucking checks and those numbers and those viewers. Shame on you, Zeus, because y'all know watching this shit, if this is what we see as viewers, what did y'all see that wasn't captured on camera? Y'all know that y'all should have stepped in and said, you know what? We can't continue this production until you go to rehab, baby girl. We can't continue this production until you guys get into anger management. We can't. It's a liability being around and seeing this shit. But money overrides. Money overrides it all. Yet we're here doing this, and we're here doing this show. We're talking about it. We're talking about it. Speaking of, do y'all want to start seeing these after shows, these recaps that I'm doing? Do y'all want me to start doing them live? Because I feel like now that I've reached my 1,000 subscribers, I should start giving you guys more and doing these live. After the episode airs, I come live. We do an after show. We talk about it. Y'all can come up here and join me, join the conversation. We could talk one-on-one. How do y'all feel about that? Let me know in the comments below. So they both decide to go into couples therapy. And they're going to be meeting with Dr. Ish. If you don't know who Dr. Ish is, he's like a known celebrity therapist. He's on Marriage Boot Camp a lot. You've probably seen him there. And they get there. Chrisean comes in bubbly. She comes in and seems to be good spirits. Happy-go-lucky. Hey, Dr. Ish, how are you? And I don't think she's drunk right now. She doesn't seem drunk or sloppy. Maybe she's buzzed. I don't know, but she doesn't seem really drunk right now. The Dr. Ish wants to talk to them separately because they come in together, but he's like, look, to get the best out of this, I want to talk to each of you separately first, then together. And you can tell that Chrisean didn't want to do it, but she's going to do it. But she cannot stand being away from this man. She can't miss Blueface taking a shit. She can't miss when he fucking farts. That's how bad she wants to be up under this man. It's like, it's giving obsessed. It is giving obsessed. Now, at this point, at the start of couples therapy, we're about 15 minutes into the episode. And there's 30 minutes of the episode left. So the therapy session is literally a 30-minute scene. This is what I be talking about with Zeus. Like, come on now. Do we really need to see 30 minutes of therapy? Cut that shit down. Right, cut that shit down. Now, Chrisean comes in first. She does her therapy first, and she literally tries to bring a blunt with her. She's like, tells Blueface, like, can you give me the blunt? Like, babe, I need the blunt. And he's like, you don't need that while doing your therapy session. I'm like, girl, really? Really? Like, and I'm a smoker, okay? I'm a smoker, but you know when hey, come on now, Chrisean, goddamn. Now, one thing Chrisean tells Dr. Ish is that it's been easy to forget, like, as soon as they start off, you know, he starts asking her some questions, and one of the things that she says is, it's been easy to forget about herself. She's kind of lost herself in all this. I'm like, okay, she's being vulnerable. We're getting somewhere. Maybe we'll see a different side to Chrisean here. So she's acknowledging that she's forgotten about herself. She's not only forgetting about herself, she's forgetting about these projects, these brand deals, endorsements, club appearances, beauty lines that she could be doing, music that she could be releasing, things that she could be doing and getting this bread. But she's too dick dumb. She's too worried about what Blueface is doing. As Chrisean is talking to Dr. Ish, she's got a bottle beside her. And I'm like, oh, Lord, I thought we were going to be able to get through this therapy session without her drinking. But here she goes. She's starting. She's picking up the liquor bottle. She's drinking. And at this point, she's been drinking the entire episode. Like, what do we not see? What do we not get to see off camera? I bet she drinks nonstop. Now, Dr. Ish is asking Chrisean the hard questions, the questions that you ask when you're a therapist to get people to open up and talk about their emotions. And anytime she's asked something that she doesn't want to face head on, Chrisean gets on the defense. You can tell. She gets passive aggressive. She gets annoyed. She huffs and puffs. She rolls her eyes. And sometimes we don't want to talk about things that are painful, but it's part of the healing process. And she's too young to even grasp that, I think. I don't think she understands. And she looks at it as being vulnerable, weak, and what good is it going to do me sharing my personal business with a stranger? Now, she brings up, I will give her this, she's a little bit vulnerable in one moment, and she talks about her childhood and going through her mom being on drugs and forgetting about them, homelessness, abuse, and neglect. All those things she says, you know. She says her mom left them when she was on drugs. She abandoned them. They were abused by their father. Having no one there to show up for her. She says all these things, and everything just makes sense when it comes to her. This girl is damaged. This girl, and not just to, you know, make it all about Chrisean, but we are recapping her show because there's other people in the world who've gone through these same things and they've come out on top, and she can come out on top. But right now, fame is not what this girl needs. Fame is the last thing this girl needs, honestly. She has went through a lot that she talked about in this episode. She talks in detail about the abuse that she faced, being slapped by a grown man, her father. I'm pretty sure she said it was her father. If I'm wrong, correct me y'all in the comments. It may have been her mother's boyfriend or a stepfather, but I'm pretty sure she said her father. She says that he tied her mother up out in the woods and beat her, that he would line up her and her brothers and sisters, or her and her sisters, and slap them, get in their faces and jack them up like this. You know, imagine just how traumatizing and scary that would be as a child. I never grew up with abuse in my family. I was never abused. I don't know what that's like. You know, I had a fairly somewhat childhood, good childhood, somewhat, but dealing with any kind of abuse I never really had to deal with. But this is why she has this rough exterior and she's so tough on the outside. But deep down, this girl is damaged, she's broken, and she's crying out for help in different forms and in different ways. We learned that she got the name Rock because they call her Rockhead because she doesn't listen. When Blueface comes in for his therapy session, he tells Dr. Ish that. That's why they call her Rock. They grew up calling her Rockhead because she doesn't listen. So I thought that was an interesting thing to learn about her because I never knew where Rock come from. Now, when talking to Blue, Dr. Ish calls out the truth and tells Blue, you know that deep down, this fighting, this drama, the shit that you deal with her, and that you contribute is unsustainable. It's never going to work. Like, he faced him with that truth. Like, you know, let's talk about it. Let's be real. You know, this shit right here is never going to last. He pretty much asked him, how do you handle this relationship that you're in with her? How do you deal with it? Dr. Ish says Chrisean looks for any little reason for Blue not to like her, and then she's triggered. And that's so true. She's seeking this validation, this love, this affection that she didn't get as a child. And she's so used to bad things happening, so she looks for the bad things in Blue. Because maybe it's too good to be true for her. I don't know. But all this makes sense, especially coming from a therapist. Blue tells Dr. Ish that they start talking about his mother, his relationship with his mother. He says his mom acts like she wants to be his girlfriend on a level, not incestually, but on a level of not wanting his girlfriends to have the attention that he gives them, you know. I'm sure it probably rubs the mother the wrong way, seeing her son shower these girls with gifts and money and things, and the mom probably sits back thinking, well, why not me? I don't know. Does Blueface help? I'm sure he's helped his family out. Maybe it's not enough for them. I don't know what the detail is there with his family. We had never really gotten that deep to the root of what, you know, sometimes his mom does make, based off of the things that she said online, it makes me think she can be ungrateful. Like, her son is just supposed to give everything. Like, he has to enjoy his fame and his fortune too. Like, I'm gonna help my family out, but damn, y'all want to come live with me? You want a bank card? You want drive, take my cars, do every fucking thing. Now when Blueface comes out of therapy, Chrisean has drank all the liquor, and she says that there was nothing he could say, and it didn't feel like therapy. She wasn't feeling the therapy session. She said it was like talking to a nosy motherfucker who wants to know your business. Like I said prior, I don't think Chrisean is willing, ready, or capable of accepting help from somebody who is licensed and able to help people with these sorts of issues. She's too hard-headed. She doesn't want to receive it because she thinks she knows everything and she has all the answers. When they both come in the room for the joint therapy session, she sits down next to him, to Blueface, and stares at him with this fucking Joker smile, with this obsessed look in her eyes. And she's like, I want to sit next to him. I want to sit on him. I want to sit in his lap. And you can just, like, it's like this infatuation that she has over him. Dr. Ish asks, how many tattoos do you have of Blueface? She says 7. 7 tattoos of this man on her body, y'all. Let that sink in. If that ain't fucking obsessed with the man over a man, I don't know what is. 7 tattoos, girl. What you gonna do in 3 to 5 years? Hell, I give it a year, 2 years. When y'all broke up and ain't together and you got 7 tattoos of this man on your motherfucking body. And your next man on top of you trying to get some, and he looking down and their Blueface looking him dead in the face. What is wrong with you? Wake up, Chrisean. Wake up. She claims that she does it because she's bored. You lying ass. No, you ain't bored. Call it what it is. You're obsessed. 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 That's the truth, T. She's going to feel so dumb in the future, y'all. I'm telling you. When she's older and wiser, she's going to feel stupid. Dr. Ish tells them, you know what? I've had couples like y'all who come in here and think that nothing's gonna tear them apart. Nothing's gonna blow the house down in their relationship. And guess what happens? They end up separated. Chrisean starts laughing. She thinks it's funny. She's not taking it serious. She's disrespecting the therapist. She's disrespecting Blueface. She's disrespecting everyone. You can tell that the doctor is upset. And he says, come on now, stop acting like a child. I mean, she's literally laughing, leaning over the furniture like a fucking 3-year-old kid. Like, really? Like, how someone can date someone like this is beyond me, because I would have been fed up. Fed the fuck up, okay? Maybe it's my age. I don't know, because she is 21, but I didn't act this way at 21. But I also didn't go through the things that she went through. But we all have a past, we all have a childhood, we all have an upbringing where things may not have been the best. She's got to take accountability for these actions. You can't use your past and your childhood to justify it all the time. I mean, come on now. The therapist tries to get Rock to be more vulnerable and open up and talk to Blue about their infidelities and problems, but she can't be a grown woman enough for 5 minutes to listen and respond like an adult without climbing on top of Blueface, turning away from the doctor, disrespecting him. It was just like so cringe to watch. I'm like, really, girl? And that pretty much wrapped the episode up. The doctor, you know, says, well, that's the, you know, we'll wrap things up. It was great talking to you guys. Good luck, pretty much. And we get a flashback of all the scenes that have happened this season. We get a flashback with the song playing, and the episode ends. And that's when I was like, well, that kind of ended weirdly. They're gonna go to therapy, and that's the end. I didn't really understand it, but okay. I don't know. How did y'all feel about this episode, this season, episodes 1 through 6? I mean, the season could have been better. It lacked a lot of things that we've talked about here on the after show and in the recaps. It lacked a lot of different things. I guess I give the overall season like a 5. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the best. I hope they come back with the season 2 and things are better. Scenes are better executed. You know, we have confessionals. We see more than just their drama and the drinking and the dumb shit. Yeah, so that's my recap for this season. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for sticking with me each and every Sunday for the last 6 weeks, recapping Blueface and Chrisean Crazy in Love. I've enjoyed doing the after show. If you guys want to start doing these live, make sure you let me know in the comments. Let me know if you want to start doing them live, or do you like me just doing them like this, doing like just a video. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you can get up-to-date content. Turn on your post notifications so you can also be notified when I go live or post content. And hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you like this video because that's going to help more people find us. Also, join the conversation. What did you think about this episode? How did you feel about Blueface and Chrisean going to therapy? Do you feel like she's more at fault, or do you feel like he's more at fault? Do you think it's equal? There's equal fault there. And do you think that Chrisean has an alcohol problem based off of the things that we've seen her do? Do you feel like she was disrespecting Dr. Ish in the therapy session? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Give me your rating overall for this season, how you felt about the entire season, and go ahead after this video and join me. We're going to be doing an after show for Baddies West. The recap for Baddies West Season 3. Tonight, after this video, I'm going to be doing the recap for that. So if you want to check that out, make sure you go and watch that video. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. See ya.